If you somehow happen to give information leading to this man's arrest, the US will pay you a reward of $50 million. Now, he is the leader of a country, so it may be a little difficult. Who is he? This is Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela. Well, actually, that's up for debate. He was re-elected to a 6-year term in 2024, but international observers say the election was illegitimate, as results were polluted with major irregularities, a lack of transparency, and oppression of the opposition from Maduro's increasingly authoritarian regime. One of those many irregularities, the total vote percentages were so exact that they corresponded to a precision of 5 decimal places. Maduro's re-election in 2018 was also filled with similar accusations. The US, the UK, and the EU still do not officially recognize Maduro as Venezuela's president, and declared Maduro's opponent, Edmundo Gonzalez, the legitimate president-elect. When Trump came into office in 2025, he ratcheted up pressure even more on top of already existing US sanctions. He pulled Chevron's license to operate in Venezuela, affecting about a quarter of the country's oil output, saying it was due to Maduro's lack of democratic reforms and his refusal to accept deported, quote, violent criminals at a quick enough pace. Since Venezuela lives or dies by its oil industry, this further damaged the country's already struggling economy. Though Trump did later grant a newer, more restrictive license to Chevron with no proceeds going to Maduro's government. Now, why does the US care so much about Venezuela? Well, there are a few reasons, as Venezuela is geographically close by, has the largest oil reserves in the world, is closely allied with US adversaries like Russia, Iran, and China, and has slid from a stable democracy to a dictatorship, causing a refugee crisis that's exacerbated immigration pressures in the US. Trump also declared the Cartel de los Soles, an informal network of Venezuelan military leaders and political elites accused of trafficking cocaine through the country, as a foreign terrorist organization. The bounty on Maduro that we mentioned earlier for his role in the Cartel de los Soles was increased from 25 million to 50 million. Trump also began ordering military strikes against boats in the Caribbean accused of smuggling drugs in the US, including those from Venezuela, killing 83 people to date. And Trump recently authorized the CIA to conduct covert operations inside Venezuela. These actions have all been carried out under the stated pretext of targeting and dismantling the flow of illicit drugs into the US. Now, Venezuela is not a major producer of cocaine, but is instead a transit country, where cartels pay off military and political leaders to transit cocaine from major producing countries like Colombia. According to rough estimates, Venezuela's drug transit accounts for about 10% of the cocaine that ends up in the US, as profits amount to about 1% of Venezuela's GDP. Maduro claims that Trump's measures are evidence that the US is seeking regime change, possibly through military action, and has begun to mobilize his military defenses.